right, so we have Teagan, Lily, and Matthew Knows with us today. They're going to be answering a few little questions for the I'm a Vapor project. Teagan, how long have you been vaping?
About 3 years.
And Matthew, how long have you been vaping?
Same.
Okay. What made you start vaping, Teagan?
A friend introduced us to it and told us the health benefits, and we thought of our kids and each other and just living longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, what has been the best thing that's happened to you since you've been vaping?
Oh, definitely the health benefits for sure. We're able to play with our kids more and run
Yeah.
around the yard, not get winded. Taste things. Our food tastes better. You can smell things better. Just overall, it's just a better lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. And you agree with that, Teagan?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
What has been the worst thing that's happened to you since vaping?
Being discriminated. My family still smokes, and they look down on it. Like, are you serious? If I wanted to quit, I'd just quit. Yada yada yada. It just hurts that they don't want to believe in it because it's different.
Okay. What about you, Matthew?
I would have to say the same thing. More so, us working in the industry, the doubts that our families have had in the industry itself, and thinking that it's not something that's going to grow and be able to take us places, and you know, with the way it's changing lives, how could it not?
And so your family and friends don't agree with you vaping?
Well, they do now after they've
Oh
seen
yeah.
the benefits of it, and how well we're doing in life with it.
Okay, so they're
Yeah.
they're completely for it then. Okay.
For it. Just they just looked down on it at first because it was something so new.
Right.
Okay. Now, if this applies to you, go ahead and answer it. How does your doctor feel about you vaping?
Actually, even through my pregnancy, my doctors didn't say go ahead vape. They said it would be better that I vaped than smoked, and I did up till labor. Honestly,
Both of
you
our
know,
doctors have told us, they don't even consider it smoking. It's
yeah,
totally different than smoking. So.
I was able to cut my nicotine way down, with the vaping to where I barely did it compared to smoking with my kids.
Okay.
That was confusing.
I think what she's trying to say is that had she continued to smoke through her pregnancy rather than vape, she probably would have been consuming a whole lot more nicotine, and not
Yeah,
only that, but the just the tar in general and carcinogens. So it was way better choice for her to vape through her pregnancies than to have smoked.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I know you've already answered this, but I'm going to ask it again. Do any of your family or friends that smoke or have smoked in the past, do they vape now?
Yeah, actually, we do have some family that did switch to vaping and quit totally.
Okay. Do you have any that still smoke that have medical problems?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
actually. Sister has MS, and she's starting to look into vaping. She's starting to give it a shot finally.
Do you think the smoking is contributing to the MS?
Oh, definitely. It's breaking down her immune system, making her not improve as much as she could be.
What would you do if the regulations pass that makes it harder to vape?
I think we would still figure out a way to push harder.
I mean,
We'll
if
never give up.
yeah, no,
We'll
if
always keep fighting.
they push, we push harder.
Yeah.
Okay. How well do you think the community stands together about vaping?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much on the same page, but we could always be fighting harder. We could always be informing more people. There's tons of people out there that have no idea what's going on. They not smoke.
I think there are tons of key points of advocacy that are being missed by the community. We got
Yeah.
a lot of great groups out there and organizations that are bringing forth these points and advocacy, but could just get the community on board as well. It seems that at least for the younger crowd of vapors, it's more so just about who's got the coolest mod or who's got the biggest cloud, and we got to try and remember where we all started from. This was a way for us to get away from tobacco, and I think that's something that's been forgotten in the community.
Okay. What is your feelings about standing against the FDA and legislation, big tobacco, big pharma, that are being made against the vaping community?
I think that they're using any kind of hearsay information or studies that they can to try and make vaping as dangerous as possible, to try and get it shut down so they can continue to make their money off their taxes and big tobacco income. Um, it's a never ending fight as far as I'm concerned right now, at least. Big tobacco is going to do whatever they can, to try and eliminate competition.
And I know you kind of answered this already, but are you afraid to fight against the FDA, big tobacco, big pharma, and legislation? And if so, why would you be afraid?
Not afraid.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I strongly believe in what we do here, and it's not something I'm just going to give up on. Like I said, they push, we push harder.
What do you think our biggest strategy would be against them?
Biggest what?
Strategy would be against them.
Unity,
Yeah,
uh,
unity.
getting
Numbers.
getting
Yeah.
regulations in process before they have a chance to, like our own regulations. That's something that I've been saying we needed to do for a long time. Is we need to take charge and make our own regulations so that they don't have the opportunity to come in and trample all over what we've created.
Yeah, because we know it way better than they do. If we came to them with a plan,
We're the ones that have
it would
been
make everyone's lives easier.
we're the ones that have been doing it. We know it better than anyone. Just like Teagan said, we experience it.
Okay. Have you ever lost anyone from smoking?
No, not personally.
I did. It was a while back. I don't really talk to anyone in my family anymore, so but at that point in time, it was my brother's father. He was a heavy smoker, and he was a bit of a large man as well, and just had a nasty spill because he was winded and broke his ankle, and wasn't able to go to the doctor about it, and it killed him.
Okay. Do you try to follow your state regulations as much as possible, like vaping in public? And what are your thoughts about the regulations?
Yeah, definitely. We used to think it was funny to try and vape through Walmart, and we kind of turned that around really quickly when we realized this was something life-changing, not just a joke, not a game, not just something for fun. It's what we became really passionate about it, and we do, follow, you know,
I think it needs to be looked at in the same way, as far as this aspect, one of the main things that really helps a vapor quit smoking is treating their e-cig in the same way that they treated their cigarettes, and
lighters.
in the aspect of taking the same rituals. You wouldn't light up a cigarette in the middle of Walmart.
Right.
Right.
Don't vape in the middle of Walmart. It's just silly. Why would you do that? It's rude, obnoxious, and just immature.
Correct. I agree. How do you believe would be the best way to get the word out that vaping is better than smoking? Not the best, you know what I'm saying. It's healthier than smoking to those that don't believe.
Once again, this is something I've been saying for a while. We need commercials. We need to get information out there. I really believe that, if one of these big groups, that are key in advocacy in the vaping community were to take charge and try and get an actual vaping commercial out with some real facts,
Some
instead of just,
personal stories.
yeah, some personal stories and real facts instead of just, the stuff that we're seeing on the internet from big tobacco and big pharma and all the media. If we could just really put some actual facts in front of people.
Do you have any final words of advice for those that think vaping is bad and for those that need to stand up and fight for vaping?
Um, Simply, if you're against vaping, you know, there's a meme that's been going around that says I'm a vapor, not a smoker. I smell of candies and fruits and sometimes cakes. Just that alone, we smell way better than you. you know.
Yeah.
Not only that, but if you're not taking part and you're not doing, if you're not playing a role in advocacy in vaping, then and you're a vapor, then you must not really care about what you're doing, because this is something that's changing lives and creating jobs, and it's good for the economy. And if people can't see that, and they're willing to let it just slip through our fingers like that, then they really have the wrong idea about vaping.
And any last words that you want to say?
Vape on.
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
Vape on.
yeah, vape on.
All right. And that is the end of our interview. I want to thank you both for doing the interview today. It will be put up on YouTube, so you'll have a chance to look at it
Okay.
and show your friends what happened tonight.
All
Okay.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mwah.